So, good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? So today is Sunday, and what we're going to talk about today is why the law of attraction doesn't work for you, the 25-75 rule. Now, the 25-75 rule is not the same as the 80-20 rule. Now, the 80-20 rule basically states that 20% of what you do give you 80% of your results. Just like in a business, 20% of your products create 80% of your sales. It's always the smaller that creates the larger result. But what we're going to talk about is actually in the reverse. See, the 25-75 rule works in the reverse. It works in the reverse only in certain categories, and in the law of attraction, it works the same way. And here it is. Now, before I go there, let me say this. The 80-20 rule in the law of attraction does work as well, but it depends on how it's applied. But what we're going to talk about here is the 75-25 rule and how it applies. So here we go, for real, for real. When I was a personal trainer, because most of you may know that I was a personal trainer before I became a life coach, before I became a business coach, before I opened up Uncle Ren's Popcorn, UncleRen'sPopcorn.com. Before that, I was a personal trainer. And one of the first things that I always used to teach my clients, and it's a very basic thing, and if any doctor who's worth their salt, is talking to you about your health and fitness, then they should be able to tell you this exact same thing. That your genetics only make up 25% of your body. The way your body is, the condition of your body, whether it's healthy, whether it's sick, whether you're overweight or underweight, whether you have good muscle tone or bad muscle tone, all of those things only come from 25%. The 25% of that only comes from your genetics. So when a person says that I'm predisposed to diabetes, yeah, that may be only a 25% of it. Here's the 75%, the bulk of what makes you diabetic, the bulk of what makes you overweight, the bulk of what makes you have high blood pressure, the bulk of what gives you cancer, the bulk of what gives you anything that is going on in your body, and also apply this to life, anything going on with your life. 75%, environment. Environment. Let me put it to you in a physical format. If your body is 75% moving towards alkaline, then cancer, disease cannot grow in your body. But if it's 75% over towards acidic, then cancer, disease can grow in your body, right? You may have people in your family who have slow metabolism, okay? And that's only 25%. But if you're inactive, if you're not working out, if you're eating improperly, if you're taking in a bunch of foods that slow your metabolism down, then it is that 75% that is making up your body. It is that thing that's making your body, not the 25% of your genetics. So I'm sorry. I know some of you have this excuse that you like to use, that people in my family are just big, or people in my family have diabetes, or high blood pressure runs in my family. I know you want to use these as excuses so that you don't have to do the work that's necessary, but I'm sorry to tell you, and really I'm not, because that's just the way I'm putting it. It's 75% of it comes from your environment. So if you want to make things in your life, you want to attract things in your life, you want to attract health in your life, you want to attract finances in your life, you want to attract love in your life, then you got to look at the environment of your life. All right. And here's the other part. You are putting junk in your head. You are putting so much information in your head, and that information, whether you realize it or not, is doing something to your mind. You're watching too much Scandal. You're watching too much How to Get Away with Murder. You're watching too much news and media. You're watching too much of it. And all that information is dumping into your brain, and your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's fake. So as far as your subconscious is concerned, it takes it all in as reality. So you are dumping that information into your mind. So how do you expect the results of your life to be different? Right? And then if everybody around you, if 75% of the people around you are talking about how broke they are and how they can't make money and how the economy is so bad and how these people are against me and those people are against me and the rich people are doing this. If 75% of the people are dumping that information in your ear constantly, then what do you expect out of your life except that thing to occur within your life? Because that is what you're attracting. So you get it? If you want to have more of the things in your mind that you say that you want attracted into your life, then the first thing you got to do is check your environment. Check the environment of the things that's coming into your ears, coming into your eyes, going into your mouth. Check the environment of whatever's coming inside of you, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. The three, you got to check those three constantly, because if you got the things coming into your life that are counter to the things you want to attract in your life, you're not going to get what you think you want to have in your life, what your conscious brain says you're going to have in your life. It'll all go into your subconscious, and then it'll attach itself to your emotions, and then your emotion will produce exactly the negative thing that you claim and say and believe that you're not going to have. And actually, you really don't believe it, because what's in here is what you believe. I like to throw you go for a little circle like that sometimes. But here's the deal, guys. If you want to do it, you want to make that change, you got to put forth the effort. You got to put forth the energy and the effort to make that change. You got to change your environment. I'm going to give you an opportunity to come do that when we have our launch party seminar on January 7th. I'm going to give you the tools that's necessary in order to help you start making those changes, so that you don't go through an entire year talking about how next year is going to be your year. If you're always talking about how next year is going to be your year, then no year will ever be your year. No year, not one year will ever be your year, because you're always waiting, you're always wanting, it's always coming. And if something is always coming, then it never gets to its destination. So what's the destination of your life? That's what you gotta focus on. And if you really want that destination to come about, then you have to do it now. You have to make changes now. You have to get involved now. You got to change your environment now. If you do the same thing that you've been doing in 2014, you're going to get that same result in 2015. If you keep doing that in 2015, you're going to get that same result in 2016, and in 17 and 18 and 19 and 20 and so on and so forth. And then you're going to look back on your life and have so many regrets. And who wants to have those regrets? My life, myself, is non-negotiable. My greatness is non-negotiable. Yours should be too. So let's empty out our cups. Let's come together on January 7th. On January 7, 2016, and let's get this started the correct way. Let's get our minds right. Let's get our mentality right. Let's get our physical body right, and let's get our spirituality right, so that we're moving in the right direction. All right? And I say spirituality, it doesn't matter what religion you believe in, it doesn't matter. They all, in this base core, talk about the same thing as far as attracting things into your life. You want abundance? Let's come get some abundance. Do it differently than you did last year. I'm doing it differently. You do it differently. So once again, my greatness is non-negotiable, and so is yours. So I look forward to seeing you guys. Y'all have a great day, and rise up, Falcons.